the product that we are going to create is a dynamic website that reacts to our interactions, right? So the scrolling thing, let's say the scrolling thing. And when you're moving your mouse, the website should basically react to it, right? And this was slightly harder to achieve in the previous days. We had to use Webflow, we had to use scroll markers, and we need to assign JSON files to do that animation and all those things. But it's become super easy right now. And if you look right now into these, internet, YouTube, and all that stuff, you will see a lot of tutorials on doing that. But even those tutorials are a slightly bit harder than what it actually is, right? So I'm going to show you a very simple workflow to do this. So let's get started. What we're going to do is, the first thing is to prepare the assets, right? So look for a product. I here have a product right here, and this is the image of a Leica Flex camera, right? I have this particular image right here. So what we will do is we'll go to a Gen AI image editor. So let's say we are going to go to something like Google Gemini. You can use any tool that you are comfortable with, but in this scenario, I'm going to go to Google Gemini, open this up. Now, if you are a pro subscriber to Google Gemini, you will have access to unlimited access to Google's Nano Banana Pro, which is still the best image editor out there, right? So you can click on create image here, and you can make sure that you are actually changing this to Pro, right? So if you are leaving this at a default, let's say fast, it's going to use the regular Nano Banana. But if you need Pro, make sure that you are setting it to Pro, and make sure that you are set to images right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload the file. So let's go to upload a file, go to desktop and take this image, right? So I have this image here. What I am going to prompt is that make a, let's say 16:9. This is the aspect ratio that I need, right? So that it is going to fit perfectly in a website. Version of this image with a clear white background, right? So this image is sort of like that itself, which is in a clear white background and all that, but it's actually better to recreate the stuff. Whatever product is, maybe you might not actually find your product in a white background. It might be in somebody's hand. You might be clicking a picture of it. So to clean that up, it's actually good idea to recreate this image. Make a 16:9 version of this image with a clear white background, right? We're going to say this, and we're going to click create an image. So it's going to render that image. It will take some time. Let it work on it. It looks like a new camera and all that stuff. It cleaned it up. So this is an important step when you're working on stuff like this. Now what we need is, I'm going to download this image, okay? This particular image. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to upload that image once again. So whatever was created by Gemini, I'm going to upload this. And here, what I'm going to say is the final state of this image, right? So what we are actually trying to recreate is that this image should animate based on our scroll, right? So we need to decide what is the last stage. This is the first stage of the animation, and what is the last stage of the animation. So something which is very popular and something that we see often in the internet is the exploded view of a product. So we want to create this exploded view, just an image, right? So what we're going to say is that create a 16:9. This is the same aspect ratio image that shows the exploded view of this product, right? So there is no complex prompt or anything that we need to write, right? Because Nano Banana is intelligent enough to understand the prompt. So but give it a little more info. Do not change the angle and composition. Separate the elements of the camera, like the lens, buttons, rings, is there anything else? Horseshoe, internal components, etc. Right? This is more than enough, right? Usually when you go to these tutorials and all that, you will see a messy prompt. so much of stuff and all those things. We don't need it. This is good enough, right? So let's try this. So we have it, right? We have a pretty decent image of this. So we have an exploded view of the camera. It's good, right? So what we need to do is, it's not complete yet, but I think we can go ahead and download this. Okay, it's done. So we have two images here. One is the starting, which is this, and the exploded view, which is like this. All right, two images. What we need right now is the frames in between this, right? So the best way to create this is we can create a video, right? We can create a transition video, and this is the Hixfield tool. So Hixfield is a platform, just like how I was saying about Gemini, right? It's a standalone thing. You can go directly to Gemini, you can create images, you can create videos and all that inside that platform, but you will only have access to Google's tools. But if you come to something like this, if you go here, let's say if you want to create images, you have access to a ton of models, right? You have Hixfield, you have Nano Banana, you will have GPT from OpenAI, you'll have Flex, all these things are there. Everything will be available to you on a subscription basis, right? Okay, we'll go with this. So the start frame, we will click on this and we will upload the first image here. This is our start frame, and we are going to upload our end frame, which is this. The credit is not bad. It is 7.5. It's okay. So what we need is a prompt here, right? So we have the first frame and the second frame, and we need a prompt. Now you can manually type it here, but what we can actually use is we can go to, let's say, Gemini itself, or maybe ChatGPT or anywhere, and we are going to say that we are not turning on image. We're just going to say that write me a prompt to create a video that transitions from a normal state to an exploded state of a product. A camera, it's a camera. The first and last frames will be provided. Okay, so we have the prompt, right? Just copy this thing. That's it. Come back here, paste that in here. So the prompt is here. We can go through it, right? Starting from a fully assembled state, the camera undergoes mechanical explosion, all of those stuff. It's clearly mentioned. The model is 5-second video and 1080p. I'm just going to change this to 720p so that you can see that the credit is slightly reduced, but at the same time, it's going to take slightly lesser time. No, let's go with 1080p itself. Let's do this. So everything is ready. Click generate, and it's going to start building the scene. All right, it is processing. It's going to build this scene, right? Camera 1, camera 2, it will create that exploded scene. While this is building, we will start working on our website, right? We need to make a website. So here also, we're going to go to Google, gemini.google.com. So here, there is a slight little thing that we need to do. So in here, we're going to click on this plus sign, and we're going to go and enable this thing called Canvas, all right? So Canvas is basically where you can actually work along with the AI. So this is a conversational model, right? Every tool will have this. So if you go to ChatGPT also, it will also have something like a canvas. So if you go to more, you can see that there is a canvas in ChatGPT. In Gemini also, there is something called a canvas. So canvas basically means that it is going to give you a co-creating platform, not like a conversational model. You can basically see what it is doing. You can simultaneously correct AI and all those things. So we are going to choose Canvas in Gemini, and we are going to say to build the website. So I'm going to say that I want you to build a 3D scrolling website homepage where the sequence of images will move, will play based on the scroll of the site. again, a very simple prompt. I'm not going to make a detailed prompt or anything like this. I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to change this to thinking, right? And I'm going to click submit. So this is what happens in Canvas, right? Immediately the conversation goes into a side, and you can see it is basically making a website for you. It is writing the code and everything for you on the site. So this is Canvas, right? You can just jump in here anytime and you can do this. So it already created this, right? It already created in seconds a scrolling website. So if I scroll down, you can see that there is an animation happening, right? This is a template. It's just a template, right? So let it be here. We are not going to change anything. So we will basically just say this. I have a video of an exploding camera in a white background that I made to a sequence of images. I want the explosion to happen as I am scrolling down, right? We'll just say this. I need your advice on where to add the video in the code, right? Because I have absolutely no idea about the coding part, right? So I'm just going to enter this. I will say that this is the situation that we have. I don't know where to add that video. So it is saying this. Okay, it's done everything. Image path and frame count is actually available there. So if you switch to code, you'll be able to see where this is, right? It is saying all of these things. Update frame count to the number of images that you have. And yeah, all of these things are there. Now, why is just saying image sequence? Because we are basically creating a video, right? So we created a video like this. We have an explosion video like this, but it is saying image sequences. The reason is that when doing these kind of scrolling animation, if you do a video, if you just directly upload a video, there will be something called a motion blur, right? Motion blur is a way that video transitions from one frame to another frame. So there will be a soft diffusion there. So if you stop in middle of a video, it will be blurred. It will not be sharp images. So I don't want that. I want it to be image sequences. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this video. It looks good. So we have the video here. The video of that explosion is right here. What we are going to do is we want that video to be converted into images, right? So we can just Google search it, video to or MP4 to image frames. We're going to get a link, video to JPEG sequence converter. Click on this and you can upload your video. So I'm just going to upload the video that we just rendered from Higgsfield. It's done, right? It's uploaded everything and it created image sequences here. So we can just click convert to JPEG and every bit of that image is converted into an image sequence, right? It's super easy. Download frames as a zip file. We're going to download that and there will be that zip file right here. I'm just going to drag and drop it right here. Let's export this and call it frames. Okay, I'm going to call it frames. And okay, there are 26 frames in here, and this is the frame title, right? So I'm going to say I don't want to manually add this code. Like, you know, what you can do right now is that you can go to that particular link, change it manually. I don't even want to do that. I'm going to just say that the images are in a folder called frames in my desktop. The file names, there are 26 frames in total. The file names are like this. Okay. Update this in the code. So again, manually we can go and edit, but I thought like, okay, we are using AI, so why can't we ask AI? So it did everything. It changed everything in here, 26, to make this work. It's the same directory and all those things. Now the website is ready. The problem is that we will not be able to preview it because we don't have the files to run it, right? So what we need to do is we need to go to share. Okay, so everything is done. Let's click on this, click on share. You can do is you can copy the content. So let's say all this, you're gonna copy this. The code is copied. If you're using a Windows machine, you can use Notepad. I'm using a Mac, so I'm going to use a tool called TextEdit. This is just to download this index file, right? So I'm going to create a new document and I will format this, make plain test. This is how your Notepad will look like, all right? Paste that, the entire thing. Go to file, save as index.html. So I'm just going to go to desktop, index.html is actually here. Click on save, use HTML. That file is saved, right? Now that's an offline site. Right now we can just minimize this. You can see that the frames folder with all the images are here and the index file is also here. This needs to be in the same folder, same location together. That's the only thing. Now if I open this up, if you scroll this, you can actually do it via this as well. It is going to scroll like this and it goes up. It will react like this. Right. Now, this is why we actually did it as an image sequence, not as a video, because if you stop at any frame, you're going to get a clip which is, or you will get a picture which is without any blur or anything like that, right? This will not happen if you are adding a video directly. So that is the reason we broke it down into images, and then it is going to give you whatever you need from here. Once you have this, you can go ahead and you can change everything, right? Using Google Gemini itself, you can say that, change the title, change the action, change what will happen when you click on book a session, right? Try this out, check this out. It doesn't take any time.